Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to paint watercolor baked goods, and to make the process easier, I will be offering a free texture brush that you can download and use. Let's get into it! For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Sublime Watercolor pack and the cold press canvas that is included in the pack. Everything will be linked below. As usual, I've drawn a very basic sketch for you guys, so you can add that here, like this. And here is the basic sketch. It's a chocolate pastry bread, and you don't really have to actually use the sketch, it's very basic, so you can draw it. I'm going to add a new layer so that we can start to color, and here is the color palette that you can download as well with the sketch. And then here is this baked goods pastry texture brush that you can download in the same zip file if you'd like. It's all free. And the brush that I'm going to use today is the bold rough brush. So this one here. And we can get started now. I'm going to grab a very light brown, almost like beige, very light beige, this color maybe. Yeah, we'll start here. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to bring the size up and just color the entire bread, or the pastry. Once that is done, we'll move on and make a new layer on top and grab the next color. I will start using slightly bolder colors, so like a caramel color. That was a little too bold, so I'm going to bring it down a notch. You can draw some lines like this and try to create a pastry texture that is flaky and golden brown, so just kind of add random lines here and there like this, and you don't have to make it too neat because we're going to blend it all out. Perhaps you can observe a real pastry or a photo to get all of the colors and look at how they're distributed on the top. I'm going to outline the edges as well, just to indicate that these edges are crispy. Once you've added the strokes, then we can blend it out using the basic blender, and this is the blender that I'm using. I'm just going to blend it here and there rather than smudge it all out. The second layer is done now, so we're going to add a third layer now. And we can move up a color. So let's try out this color. I think I want to choose something a little bit more red. So let's try out this. Slightly more orange. Yes, that will do. And then I'm just going to keep on adding more strokes. And then I'm going to get a lighter color and fill in the other areas that are kind of empty. Because we kind of want to make sure that this pastry is filled with color. We don't want to have too many white spots. So here is the blended pastry now. I'm going to add a new layer and make it a clipping mask. And we're going to start using the stamps now. So it's best to start with bloom number 1 or 2. We'll start with 2 first. And let's grab a color. We can use any of these colors that are here, more on the dark side, and start testing out the stamps. So that color wasn't good. We'll have to choose a darker color. And here you can see the stamps. So at this point, you can really get creative and use numerous shades of brown and use a variety of stamps to add watercolor effects. You can also use the blender to move the paint around like this. I'm adding some stamps to the bottom to make it look more crispy. If you're happy with the stamps, you can merge all of the layers together into one and then create a new layer on top. And then we're going to just color in the chocolate part now because it is a chocolate pastry. And so I'm just going to color that in with a very dark brown. Also, you can add a different shade of brown to add some depth and ensure that it doesn't look so flat. Afterwards, I'm going to add a new layer and grab this brown here, and I'm going to use the watery rough edge brush and then add some strokes around the chocolate. This is just to make some texture and just to make it look like real watercolor. And then you can grab the basic blender and blend out some of these hard edges, but I'm not going to blend out the entire thing because I do want to keep that hard edge effect. It's kind of like real watercolor when it dries. At this point it looks okay, but I prefer to add more texture, so I'm going to move that layer below and merge it together with the pastry layer and make a new layer and make it a clipping mask so that we can add more stamps. And then grab a orangey brown as well as a stamp. This time I'm going to use bloom number 1 and stamp away until I'm satisfied. At this stage, we can use the free texture brush, so this one right here, and let's choose a color. Let's test this out. Looks a little bit too dark, so let's choose a lighter color. Just to let you know, I'm using a clipping mask layer right now, and as you can see, this brush adds realistic watercolor strokes and makes the painting have more texture. Now I'm just trying to demonstrate that you can use this brush on other types of baked goods like baguettes. You can probably use it on cookies, muffins, and cakes as well. So that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you all had fun and found it to be helpful. This is the second time that I'm doing a baked goods tutorial, so I guess I really love bread. If you also love bread, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.